What's up YouTube, Saf here on SuperSaf TV, and in this video we're going to be checking out some cases for the Samsung Galaxy S8 and S8 Plus. So I've not really done a case video here on the channel before, but a lot of you guys have been asking for one recently, so I've picked out some of my favorites from Spigen. And disclaimer, all of the cases featured in this video are from Spigen. I'm sure there's lots of other great cases from other manufacturers as well, but I am just covering Spigen here in this video because I quite like the quality of their cases. But this video is not sponsored in any way by Spigen. They do send me some cases now and then for some devices. And remember, if you want to pick up any of the cases featured in this video, they will be linked in the description below. Now, when looking for a case, I mainly look for three things. Firstly, some protection. At the end of the day, you want your device to be protected. That's the reason why you're going to be getting a case. Secondly is how much bulk it's going to add. There is that compromise between the protection and how bulky and uncomfortable it may get to use. And finally, it's the look of the device. Your case is going to be on your phone for a long period of time, so you definitely want it to look good. So those are the three things that I mainly look for, and I'll be applying those to all of the cases that are going to be covered in this video. Now, in terms of all of the cutouts and how easy it is to press the buttons, all of these cases are absolutely fine in my experience, and this is something that I kind of expect from cases, and Spigen doesn't disappoint in this department. So first up, we've got the Ultra Hybrid. Now, this is a clear case, so it's a great way to show off the design of your beautiful device. And if you've got skin on it as well, then you're still going to be able to have the skin on as well as this case on top. So in the looks department, it's pretty much top notch. It's also going to give you some good protection. It's got the air cushion technology from Spigen, so if you do drop it, then generally speaking, it should be okay. There is a bit of a lip around the display as well, so as long as you don't drop it on, say, a corner or something, the screen should be protected too. It's not too bulky whatsoever, so it's still quite comfortable to use, but it is a little bit slippery and it will attract fingerprints like the S8 does. The other thing that you have to bear in mind is that because this is completely clear, if there's even any little specks of dust that are trapped inside, then you are going to be able to see those, so you have to give it a really good clean. But no matter how much I try, there's always just some small specks of dust, and that really affects my OCD. But generally speaking, a great case overall, especially if you don't want to take away from the look of the device. Next up is something that goes really high on the protection level. So if you are somebody who drops your phone a lot, then this may be a good option for you. This is the Tough Armor. Now, this is a two-part case. There's the main rubber element, and there's also a hard back here as well. So this is going to give you some great protection, and it's also military grade drop tested. So that can be your peace of mind that if you do drop this, you should be okay in most cases. There's quite a large lip around the front of the device as well, so the screen is going to be protected here too. There's a very large dip here for the camera, so that once again it should be very protected. And there's also this kickstand. So if you're somebody who watches a lot of video on your phone and want to leave this kind of leaning on a desk or something, you're going to be able to do that. So that's also a nice option, which some people do like. Now, the compromise you're going to have to make for the protection that this case offers is the size. This is quite bulky, and especially with the S8 Plus, it can be a little bit uncomfortable to use, so just something to bear in mind. Looks wise, it's maybe not as slick as some of the other cases, but it's not too bad either. And as mentioned, if you are somebody who generally tends to drop your device quite a bit and you want to get that protection, then this is going to be a good option for you. Next up, we have the Wallet SK. Now, personally, I'm not too much of a fan of this type of case, but I know a lot of people do like wallet cases. Now, protection-wise, you're pretty much protected all around, so the device, every part of it is pretty much protected. So if you want to drop it like this, even the front of the display is going to be protected, so you don't have to worry about getting the screen protector or anything like that. There's a rubber interior, and then there's the casing around it, and as well as that, you also have space for your credit cards, although the magnetic strip needs to be on the right hand side, otherwise it could spoil your cards apparently, so it's something else to bear in mind here. And there's also space here if you want to maybe put in your receipts or something like that. The general look of the case is also really nice. I'm not sure if this is real leather, but the stitching around it all looks very, very slick. I really do like the look of this case, but obviously it does add some bulk, and I wouldn't say it's the most comfortable case to use, because if you're especially trying to use it with one hand, this is sort of dangling down. If you kind of fold it over, it's still a little bit uncomfortable to get around to, especially if you're with the bigger S8 Plus once again. But if you are somebody who likes these flip type of wallet cases, then it will be a good option for you. Up next is the Neo Hybrid. This is a two-part case which looks very slick in my opinion. It has a soft rubber grip and it has this sort of frame. Now, this frame is plastic. It looks kind of like metal, but it kind of replicates that look of the framing that we have on the S8 and S8 Plus. And because of that dual layer and this frame around it, it is going to give you some great protection. If you want to drop it, that's going to absorb a lot of the impact. You do have a decent lip around the display as well, so that should protect the display somewhat. And it also has a lot of grip. This sort of back material gives it some nice grip, so you're not likely to have the device slip out your hand or anything. Now, in terms of the bulk, it does add a little bit of bulk to your device, not as much as some of the other cases, but in terms of looks, I think this is definitely one of the best looking cases that we have in this collection. Now, the final case that we have here is personally my favorite. I think it's got a good balance in terms of looks, protection, as well as bulk, and that is the rugged armor. So we've got this soft sort of rubber material which does have some grip. These two panels also help towards that grip, and there's also a lip around the display, so if you do have your device flat down on a surface, then the screen's not going to be touching that surface. And although there is that layer of protection all across the device, it's still not too bulky, and I can still use the device with one hand quite comfortably. So guys, those are some of my favorite cases for the Samsung Galaxy S8 and S8 Plus from Spigen. Remember, if you want to pick up any of these, they'll all be linked in the description below. And there's also a bunch of other cases which I've not specifically featured in this video, so I'll also leave some generic links in the description below if you want to check out some of the other offerings. Which was your favorite case featured in this video, or was your favorite not featured? Definitely drop me a comment below and let me know. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful, and if you want to see more case videos like this, then definitely hit that thumbs up button to let me know. And if you haven't already, then be sure to subscribe and switch on notifications to see all of the latest content first. Thanks for watching. This is Saf on SuperSaf TV, and I'll see you next time.